guys, welcome back. So in this tutorial, I'm going to give you a quick overview of the flows. So first thing is we're going to log into our developer account that we created. So in order to do that, you will go to login.salesforce.com and then you'll see your username. Go ahead and enter, click on that one. And then in order to see the flows, what you do is you go to this gear icon on the top right hand side and click here and then go to setup. So in this quick find, you will write flows. Okay, this is how you'll see. And the link which is under the process automation, go ahead and click on the flows under that. And we'll go ahead and click on the flows. And you can already see that there are certain flows that are already available. So for your example purpose, so you can take a look at these flows if you want. So let's say if I go ahead and open up a flow which comes with this developer's account. So you can see there is a create a case flow is there. So once you click on that, you can see what the flow is doing. Okay, so this is what there are some of the examples that you can look at it. But we're not going to take a look at these for now. But what we'll do is if I want to create a brand new flow, then you will go ahead and click on this new flow here. So once you do that, these are some of the flows that are available. There's other flow types. Okay, so there are primarily 5 types of flows. First one is the screen flow. The second one you see is the record trigger flow. Then we have a scheduled triggered flow, platform event triggered flow. And then the fifth one we have is the auto launched flow. So what is this screen flow is? So let's say if you want the users to go through a process, let's say you want a user to fill a form, then based on their answers, you want to showcase another information to them, or you want to display another additional form, etc. So this is a flow where user can interact. Okay, so this guides the users through a business process that's launched from Lightning Pages or Experience Cloud site, Quick Actions, and more. So let's say you can create a screen flow which will ask the user for his information, and then you can launch a screen flow either from a Lightning page or from a home page or from a button, etc. And we will see how to do all of that in the upcoming tutorial. This is just to give you an overview of the different types of flows that we have. Now, the next type of the flow we have is a record triggered flow. Now this record triggered flow, as the name indicate, it launches when a record is created or it's updated or deleted. So when you want to perform some action or some scenario or based on a record creation of deletion, etc., then you can create a record trigger flow. So what happens is when that particular record gets created, then the flow will automatically be invoked. Then the scheduled trigger flow will be a flow that will launch at a specific time and a frequency for each record in a batch. So this is an auto launch flow which will run in the background. So you can schedule a flow at a particular time. Now the next one we have is a platform event triggered flow. So whenever a platform event message comes into the system, then if you want to perform something, let's say whenever a platform event comes, you look at that platform event and you want to create a record, then that is a platform event triggered flow. Okay, and we will take an example of all these flows in the upcoming tutorials. Now the next one is the auto launch flow. So let's say it's kind of like a sub flow. If you want to launch something through a Apex or from a process or REST API, then you can create a auto launch flow and then you can launch from any of those places. Okay, so this is the different types of flows that we have. So major categories we have is 5 different types of flows we have. As I mentioned, we have a screen flow, then you have a auto launch flow, then a record trigger flow, a schedule trigger flow, and a platform event trigger flow. Now, let's say a screen flow example would be like a registration form. Okay, so where you are going to ask the user to enter his information. Once they hit the submit, a record gets created or username gets created for them, things of that sort. So it's a screen flow. Auto launch flow, as I mentioned, it's automatically will be launched. It is used as a subflow. So if you want to invoke a process from Apex or from another process, then you can go ahead and create a auto launched flow. Record trigger is, let's say you want to update an account whenever a case is closed. Let's say you want to do that, right? So you wanted to, whenever a case record gets updated, you want to perform some action, then you can perform that business action inside of a flow, and that flow will be automatically invoked whenever a case is updated to close status. Schedule trigger flow is, let's say you wanted to send out monthly emails, or you wanted to delete some data periodically which is not being used or not being touched, then you can set up these scheduled triggered flow which can act on these batches of records, and you can run that job every 6 months, or let's say on this particular first of every month, and it looks at the data which has been sitting, and if you want to delete them, then you can set up these scheduled triggered flow as well. And platform event trigger flow, as I mentioned, you can create, let's say whenever a platform event is received, you can notify the admins, or you can even go ahead and create a record through that. So these are some of the flows that are there. And in the next tutorial, what we're going to do is we will be building a flow from scratch, a very simple flow, and we will see how to do that in the next tutorial. So I'll see you then. Thank you so much.